It was a warm summer night in the small town of Pinegrove, Michigan, when 26-year-old Marissa Cole vanished from her family's lake house. The front door was wide open, her keys and phone left untouched on the kitchen counter. Her younger sister, Danielle, was the last person to see her alive. And yet, for nearly 8 years, no arrests were made. A Harvard graduate with a career in corporate law, she was adored by her parents and envied by many, especially Danielle, her younger sister by 3 years. But behind the whispers, the smiles, and the appearances of a grieving family, dark secrets festered, ones built on jealousy, betrayal, and a rivalry that began long before anyone realized. "Why can't you be more like Marissa?" their mother would often say. Publicly, they played the role of loving sisters, but privately? They were rivals. And the battlefield was more than just academics or career, it was also love. Marissa was the pride of the Cole family, smart, elegant, and successful. Danielle was more free-spirited, less accomplished, and constantly compared to her sister. That Friday night, they shared drinks, laughed at old memories, and took photos together. Everything seemed perfect. Both sisters had dated him at different points. First Danielle, briefly, then Marissa, more seriously. She claimed Marissa had been drinking and possibly walked out for some air. Days turned into weeks. The media descended. The family wept on national TV. What Danielle thought was just a fling turned into something deeper between Lucas and Marissa, who got engaged a year before her disappearance. By the time they were in their 20s, their relationship had become icy. Enter Lucas Harper, charming, wealthy, and the town's most eligible bachelor. Behind the scenes, rumors swirled. Some believed Marissa ran away. Others suspected foul play. The family stuck to the narrative of hope. There were no signs of forced entry or struggle. But those close to her knew she'd never just vanish. She partied often, spent extravagantly, and appeared increasingly unbothered as years passed. Her clothes, her car, even her dog, everything was untouched. His name is Trevor. He talks when he's drunk. The engagement was the final straw. He had a criminal record, mostly minor thefts and drug use. But what he revealed while drunk at a local bar shocked investigators. Danielle cut off communication with Marissa for weeks. Friends recall her saying, "She always gets everything. Everything that should have been mine." Said no one would believe it was an accident. Still, a week before the disappearance, they seemingly reconciled during a family weekend at the lake house. But by Saturday morning, Marissa was gone. According to him, Danielle and Lucas had rekindled their relationship before the engagement with Marissa. It was an affair kept in the dark. She lured Marissa to the dock. He pushed her. She hit her head. Drowned. They sank the body and never looked back. When Lucas called 911 to report Marissa missing, police initially suspected a voluntary disappearance. Danielle told investigators they had gone to bed around midnight. The grieving sister and the devastated fiancé were arrested for murder, conspiracy, and obstruction of justice. Danielle was arrested at a charity gala. Lucas, at his corporate office in Chicago. Search teams scoured the nearby woods and lake. Danielle, blinded by jealousy, saw only one option: eliminate her sister. Danielle pleaded not guilty, claiming Trevor was lying for a plea deal. They showed that Danielle had manipulated Marissa into trusting her again, only to help orchestrate her murder. With her gone, it's just us. Lucas tried to distance himself from Danielle, painting her as the mastermind. A voicemail Marissa had accidentally recorded during the final minutes of her life. Muffled screams. A splash. 2 voices, Lucas and Danielle, arguing. But nothing surfaced. No body. No witnesses. No arrests. For years, the case went cold. But prosecutors dismantled that theory, pointing to the tarp, the weights, the plan to sink the body. To the world, it was a story of 2 sisters, one brilliant, one overshadowed. But behind closed doors, it was a silent war waged for love, for attention, and ultimately, for power. Lucas moved away. Danielle inherited the lake house. The Coles slowly faded from the spotlight. But detectives always felt something was off with Danielle. Her stories were rehearsed. Her behavior, erratic. The turning point came 7 years later, when an anonymous tip landed on the desk of Detective Nina Herrera, who had recently reopened the cold case. But justice, long delayed, was not denied. The letter was short and typed: "If you want to know what happened to Marissa Cole, start with Danielle's boyfriend." That tip led Herrera to Trevor Larkins, Danielle's live-in boyfriend at the time. "We lost both daughters," Mr. Cole said. "One to murder. The other to evil." In a recorded undercover conversation, Trevor said, "She told me everything. They fought. She hit her. Panicked." Police arrested Trevor that night. In questioning, he admitted Danielle confessed to him one night in tears. Marissa hadn't walked away. She had been killed. But it wasn't just Danielle. The deeper Detective Herrera dug, the more twisted the truth became. Trevor revealed that Lucas Harper, the former fiancé, was involved too. Lucas wanted out of his relationship with Marissa but feared the fallout of breaking up. They planned it together, Trevor told detectives. Authorities searched the lake again using modern sonar technology. 2 weeks later, a body wrapped in a tarp and weighed down by cinder blocks was found. Dental records confirmed it: Marissa Cole. News broke across national headlines. Neither showed remorse. But phone records, recovered texts, and damning voice notes told another story. "She's always in the way," Danielle once texted Lucas. The courtroom was packed. Prosecutors painted a picture of cold, calculated jealousy. Lucas's defense claimed he never intended to kill Marissa, only scare her. The most chilling evidence? When played in court, jurors reportedly wept. After a 3-week trial and 2 days of deliberation, the jury found Danielle Cole and Lucas Harper guilty of first-degree murder. They were both sentenced to life in prison without parole. Danielle sobbed as the verdict was read. Lucas stared blankly, as if still in shock that the walls had finally closed in. The Cole family was shattered. The parents, now in their 70s, could barely speak to the press. 8 years. That's how long it took to peel back the layers of lies, envy, and betrayal. Danielle once said during interrogation, "She always made me feel invisible. I just wanted her to know how it feels to be forgotten." Marissa was buried in a quiet ceremony by the lake she once loved, her childhood photos placed near the shore. And the most haunting part? The people closest to her, the ones who claimed to love her, were the very ones who destroyed her. Where every whisper hides a secret, and every secret, a story. Subscribe for more chilling true crime tales.